who have or have the ability to acquire the right understanding, take right choices based on those understanding, and third, their ability to align. And I'll talk about alignment when I reach the third and fourth part. So these are 3 things. Now, how do we develop such leaders? Identification also we'll discuss if time permits. How do we develop such leaders? So that's where I come to the third, as I said, the teachable point as taken from different gurus, different sources. The third point comes from the famous philosopher Confucius. Now, Confucius said that there are 3 paths to wisdom. We learn by doing, we learn by imitating, and we learn by reflecting. 3 paths to wisdom. Learn by doing in an organizational context, that is experience. Since you are from Rajasthan, at least you are studying there, you might be familiar with a saying, Hindi saying, which is popular here, which says that "Aag mein tab kar sona kundan hota hai." Right? All forming processes. How many of you are engineers? I guess vast majority. Yeah. So as you know, all forming processes are either high pressure or high temperature or both. Leadership is built in the crucible of experience. There is no other way. There are many other ways, but there is no substitute to experience. So how do you build? So the first one that Confucius said, that learn by doing, that's the most important one. Several theories are there. I'm sure, Krish or Ganesh would have by now rattled, some formula 70, 20, 10 or something like that from some very, very eminent source. But the 70% of development happens on the job, 20% through certain other things, and 10% through training, coaching, etc. So the first thing that we say is the most critical element to actually put people through such experiences. Now, how can you plan it? Obviously there is a lot of change management, the world is uncertain, it is volatile, etc., etc. But at least if you have a plan, you may be able to amend it as you go along. It's much better rather than not having a plan, right? So how can you plan? How do we plan to build such experiences, which are important and build character? What we do, I'll quote a Bajaj Auto example here. If you see, we are a motorcycle company, we are a global company, we have everything. So what we say, if a guy joins us, okay, or a girl, increasing diversity every year. So when someone joins us as a graduate engineer trainee or a management trainee, how does he or she become L1? L1 is where we say that the leadership level starts. People one level below us, those who report to Rajiv, the managing director, they are called level 0, so one level below. So we say that, how do people reach L1 when in their early 40s? Okay. What kind of experience they should go through? So there are certain generic templates for a B2C leader, for a manufacturing leader, and for a technology leader. Now that's generic, so that's where people are advanced, on that. Initially we try to build breadth, so that in that function, the multiple leadership possibilities could be created for them. Okay. And after a while we try to build depth. So when we are doing that, okay, at a certain stage of their career, obviously there are certain assessments, there is some leadership profiling, and once people are identified to be having that potential, either they're classified as almost ready or ready later. These are some of the classifications we use in our leadership profiling exercise. We then see that what experience this guy has gone through so far in life, and for the position that we are grooming him, what other experience is necessary. What we say that if you are going to be an L1 of a function, first level leader in a function, then under him, if there are 12 different L2 positions, and we say that some of them are vertical or line jobs, some are horizontal or staff jobs, we say that you should have done at least 2 of the most important verticals and 1 of the most important horizontals. So we see that what have you done versus what you need to do, and the gap creates a job rotation opportunity. Okay. If it has already happened based on his generic career template, fine. If it has not happened, it is forced. If not this year, next year you must rotate if you have to go to that leadership position. Now, often we see a situation that people are in specialist functions and it's not possible to rotate. Then we say that how do we build that experience? Then we give them short-term special assignments into the areas in which they have not experienced. The other thing we look at is is spending time good enough? Like, is this rotation good enough? All you are looking at is not rotation per se, but handling the challenge. So then we see that, which area will provide that challenge. I mean, it is one thing to be handling manufacturing engineering in a plant when in the next 3 years no new product is going to get introduced into that plant, versus being in the thick of things when 3 models are going to be introduced, right? Or same thing in sales or marketing or R&D. So we said that which will give them the challenge, and sometimes in the job rotation column of the development plan we have written that no rotation but this kind of assignment, because this is what will build that character, where he'll actually get tested. Okay, so those kind of things. So this is how we build the talent, because the Confucius will learn by doing part. Let me come to the fourth point, which is the learn by imitating or learn by reflecting part.